Guys, thank you so much for joining us. For those who are tuning in for the first time, these How I Shot It interviews, we do these about once a week. We pick some incredible photographers here in the MagMod community and bring them on live so they can chat about a few of their images and kind of tell us what was going through their mind when they were preparing for it, maybe what modifiers they used, that kind of stuff. So we definitely appreciate you joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube, be sure to join the MagMod community on Facebook. And you'll see tons of photos that people are sharing and tips and how they're using MagMod modifiers. And then, of course, you can tune in live for these broadcasts. Guys, if you are tuning in live, be sure to throw those little likes and hearts and all that craziness because we love seeing that. And then, of course, if you have any comments or questions for Alex or myself, feel free to post those and we can address those even live during the chat. So with that, we get to do this again, Alex.
3 times the charm. So it's awesome.
And actually, Alex brings up a good point. So this is actually our 3rd time that we're trying this with Alex. And the funny thing is the first time we tried to do this a couple weeks ago, and you were in South Africa.
Correct.
Which I love because in your website it says you are a wedding elopement adventure photographer, and I think you even said like, let's get weird or something like that, right?
No, for sure. That's like my life motto.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so for those who might remember, about 3 weeks ago, we tried to do this with Alex in South Africa when she was traveling on a, well, tell us, what were you doing in South Africa? You're on like a safari or something, right?
Yeah, I was on a game drive. I have a friend down there, and he was like, you should come down and hang out. And I was like, well, I don't have a wedding in February, so yeah, I want to go play with cheetahs and whatnot. So it was so good. But it would have been so cool if I had like giraffes walking around the background and like that was the goal, but
that would have been amazing. Yeah, that would have been the perfect definition of an adventure photographer for sure. And the funny thing is, for those who might have caught that broadcast, we tried to go live with Alex, and then what happened was literally she's out there in the safari and like you said, trying to get the elephants and giraffes and so forth. And then all of a sudden a storm comes rolling in and it basically blocks the internet. So we didn't have a good enough internet signal to do it. But here we are about 3 weeks later and we are able to get Alex back on. So thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
So welcome. Yeah.
Justin Haugen's already saying, I better see, what does it say? I better see MagMod lit African wildlife in this live chat.
Actually, I could show you an image. It kind of MagMod-y, but like later.
That's awesome. Good deal. So, Alex, tell us real quickly about yourself. You're based out of where?
New Hampshire, Portsmouth. So a nice little seacoast town.
Awesome.
45 minutes from Boston.
Awesome. And from what I understand is you shoot weddings, elopements anywhere, everywhere, right?
Anywhere and everywhere. Yeah, I love traveling for weddings. It's a lot of work. Those of you who are like, that is my dream job, like it is, it's amazing. However, you are on 24/7 like hours a day for your couple. But yeah, I go wherever the couple brings me.
Yeah.
Words.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. By the way, we got one person here, and I feel bad because somebody, I always pronounce names terribly. Rasid? He's always tuning into our broadcast, so I love when he does. But he says, hello from the Philippines. Have you ever been to the Philippines?
Oh, nice. No, close. Thailand and Bali.
Yeah?
Or Indonesia, I should say.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nice.
No.
Do you ever take your MagMod modifiers with you when you travel?
Always. Yeah. It was so funny, like choosing 3 or 4 images was so hard because, that's like almost like my bread and butter is the MagMod stuff. And a lot of my couples like choose me because they're like, you can get these awesome day images and sunset images, but then we can have some like, awesome night images too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, so we got a 3rd guest today.
Excellent.
Yeah, this little peanut right here. So this is actually this is my daughter Emma, and funny enough, her mom is actually traveling today. And so she said, I'm watching her here at home as I'm working, and every time I'm chatting on the phone with somebody, I think she thinks like, hey, who's Dad talking to? And she always comes to my office to check it out. So, right? Anyhow, so Emma, you can be here. You just gotta be quiet, okay? All right. So Alex, we also have Louisiana is in the house. Philly and the Heezy from Daniel says that. So.
That's so awesome.
You got all these people tuning in. So Alex, as I was telling people, we love to bring photographers on and have them share an image and kind of talk about it. Is it cool if you go ahead and bring up your first image and we can jump right in?
Let's do it. Choo-choo-choo.
Knoxville's in the house.
Knoxville, I have not been there. Cool. So is that
Knoxville in March? Later this
month?
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we can see it. This is such a beautiful shot.
You can see it. Awesome. This is one of the last images I took at a wedding. This was back in October, and this is a super, super simple setup. This is just one blue MagGrid gel, and my couple's holding it. And every time I do a silhouette shot too, I tell my couple to be really aware of that, it's going to be a silhouette. So if they're laughing, not to laugh with their teeth, to open their mouth. And, I usually tell them to say some sort of eggplant joke or say strawberries seductively. I don't know. But
wait, you totally got my interest. You said say some kind of eggplant joke. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm super interested in that. Is this like a prompt? Is that what it is?
It definitely is, and they definitely look at me like, is this girl for real? And I'm just looking at them like, yeah, I said that, and they're laughing. I'm still shooting, so it awesome. Works out. Yeah, or whispering a fruit really seductively in their ear. That works out great too for me.
That's awesome. I love it. Love it.
So yeah, so all this is just that blue gel, and then these crazy rainbow things are because of a prism, and I guess I should kind of explain. So this was taken in front of a pool. You can kind of see the pool shed. It was at a venue where it was a beach club, and there's literally the ocean to if I'm looking at the screen, to the left. And then they had these poles with string lights wrapped around it, and the string lights create obviously this bokeh. I will never know how to pronounce it, and I've always apologized for it.
No, I think as photographers, I think we have 5 different ways of saying bokeh or bokeh or yeah.
Right?
Totally good.
These massive ball things in this photo.
That works too.
Yeah. I have those in the foreground, obviously focusing in on my couples so they're bigger. And I put a prism in front of it. And these prisms, I picked up at random antique stores. I'll just go in and, it's not something I order online, but it's just I literally probably have 50 of them, and half of them are broken because I can't keep anything in my hand. But, when creating this image too, or creating any image, I'm never super technical. I'm always trying to go as quick as possible because it's, my couple's wedding day. I don't want to take them away, and I don't want to I want to give them awesome images, but I also, I want to be quick about it, and I just want to, just get them back to having fun. And then when they look back, they're like, how did this even happen? When did this,
Do you ever, after you shoot it like that, do you ever turn around and kind of show it to your clients?
Oh, absolutely. For this image, I had really no idea. I knew I wanted the silhouette, so I had them hold just one single flash, and I didn't really know what I would get, because you see it in the back of your camera, but then you click it, and then all these crazy prisms appear, or rainbows, and I was just holy crap, this is amazing. I didn't even know. I get as excited because, I said, I'm not super technical. I just have ideas, and I feel it's super important to fail, and failing and trying again. And that's literally how I just go into a wedding day. Is I go in, I think this is going to be the best wedding I've ever shot. And, I don't leave until I'm impressed, with the images, or at least a few crazy images. I
love it.
And this is one of them.
No, it's a beautiful shot. So, Alex, just to kind of summarize that, on this one, you have the groom holding the flash right at his hip there. Does it have a grid or anything on it?
No, just the gel.
Just the gel, the blue gel?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, trying to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
And then, just held the prism. If you want, I can stop sharing the screen and show you the prism.
We would love to be able to see the prism if you have it there, or something similar to it.
Yeah, of course. Let's see, and then stop stop sharing. Am I back?
Yep, you are.
Okay, cool. So this is the prism, and like even like you
Yeah.
know, just put it up to like the screen, you can see like crazy little like yeah. So like I said, antique store, awesome find, and literally use this at a wedding. Like I don't know if you can see like how like broken it is.
Yeah, yeah. From being dropped and stuff. I love it.
Dropped all the time.
That just adds character, right?
For sure. For
Hey,
sure. Like I've been stopped at TSA too because they're like, "Ma'am, is that a weapon?" And I'm like, "No, it's just a prism."
that's awesome. Hey, Danielle is wondering, have you tried fractal filters?
Yes, that was that image that we were talking about beforehand.
Uh-huh.
I love fractal filters. They make me feel like really awesome, like
You got like
like
put
brass
your knuckles in
knuckles.
there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
like them a lot.
Alex and I were chatting prior to going live, and she had an image with the fractal filter. Maybe later we can try to pull it up if possible. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love fractal filters as well. They when they first came out, like gosh, 3 years ago or so on Kickstarter, is when somebody introduced me to them, and they're pretty awesome. So yeah, some people are saying MagMod should make their own unique prisms attached with MagMod or magnets.
That like we can talk.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Danielle's saying the brass knuckles. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and if you like, let's jump into that next shot, and we can kind of keep rolling. We're about 12 minutes in, so we definitely appreciate you guys. And again, if you guys have any questions as we're going about any of these photos, let Alex know. You can just post them here, and we can take them live. Or if you guys would like, you can also post them in the comments, and usually over the next 48 hours, we'll kind of just monitor that and just see if we can get back to you. So. Very cool. Alex, thanks so much for sharing that first image. It's beautiful, and I love that you had that prism there for people to see as well. And it was cool how you held it up to the camera so people can kind of see how that effect works.
Yeah, of course.
So.
All right, so let's go to the next image. Share screen. Make this big. Cool.
Yes.
So I love this image, and this has actually two flashes. This was taken, I was literally hidden tiger, crouching photographer in a bush behind a fountain.
That's awesome.
And I had one gelled flash pointed directly at the fountain, which is how you get those like nice little like bokeh balls. It's like the fountain dripping. And then I had a grid pointed directly at the couple, held by my second shooter. And another thing I should mention too, like when I shoot, I don't shoot with light stands. I don't have time for that. So I'm literally just like winging it on the go. Like, you know, just putting it on the ground, or like, you know, just adjusting my second shooter until we get it, you know, where they're lit. So that was this image. And this is one of those wedding venues that is like a wedding farm. They have like 3 to 4 weddings a weekend. You've seen like all the shots, and when I go to venues like that, I try really, really hard to always shoot something different, something unique. And even if I had been to this venue like several times before, but I've never taken a shot like this.
Yeah.
So the other thing I did here is I just dripped water onto the lens, and like literally directly on the lens. There was no what do you call those? Not filters. Filters? Yeah, maybe.
Like a UV filter?
Yeah. See, again, not super technical.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, so I had the UV filter. No, I didn't have the UV filter, but I just literally sprinkled water on the lens. It's just how you get these like crazy, like ripply, like I don't even know what to call them. Like,
are you referring to the yellow crazy designs on the right hand side?
That's exactly what I'm referring to. Sparks. I don't.
Yeah, you know what? I think Octavio said it best. He said it's pure wizard. I can't even say it. Pure wizardry.
Thank you.
We'll just go with that.
And again, this is like another one of those images where like I kind of tested it out before I brought my couple out, and I was like, oh cool, I can see those like purple bokeh balls. And then I took the image and I saw the lights in the background, and I was like, let's see if we can kick this up another notch. And that's when I sprinkled the water on. And you know, in total this image probably took like 2 minutes to take and, you know, make, which is what I love about MagMod. which is what I love, like, even about taking images like this on a wedding day, because, you're not taking the couple away for 5-10 minutes as like you're trying different things. You can literally set something up and like make it look killer in no time with like minimal equipment. So
no, you're absolutely right. Alex, I gotta apologize. My little daughter over here, she's slurping on this soda. I don't have any kind of, it's like a clear sparkling water. I don't have any kind of straw here. So, and I'm trying to, like, when I try to pull it away from her, she's laughing. So for those who are wondering if that's me laughing, it's not. It's my little daughter over here.
That's awesome.
And I promise it's not me slurping either. I'm like, I'm trying to get her away, but at the same time, it's not working. So, Emily, you're going to have to just be quiet. I guess we'll just call it Bring My Daughter to Work Day or something, I suppose.
For sure. I mean, there's so many working parents. I feel like, everyone can understand this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Well, I just want to make sure everyone doesn't know that's not me slurping or giggling. No, I love this. So basically, I mean, you have the two lights. You have the one hitting the fountain, and then you also just put some water right up on your lens. Did the water actually? Did it just splash up on the lens, or did you actually put it on there yourself?
I mean, honestly, we can do this right now. I will put water on my lens right now and show you exactly how I do it if you want.
Hey, I mean, I'm all down for it. I think people will enjoy seeing it.
Cool. Am I back?
Yep, you are.
Perfect. So I have a camera. Let's put the 35. You can kind of see like two from yesterday's. Like I put salt water all on it. And for people who are like, oh my God, your equipment. You know what? I have insurance and I pay a lot of money for a reason. So
yeah.
But like I literally just like take whatever and just splash it right there. And that's that.
And then basically then you just shoot into the light and it creates those kind of cool effects.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
That's how I do it.
That's awesome. I have and then when you're done with it, you just take a microfiber and just quickly wipe it off, or
exactly. It's honestly no big deal, and hasn't ruined my equipment. And honestly, Nikon's weatherproof, so or weather sealed. So I'm just going with that like really hard at this point in my business and life, and I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Fine.
No, I think I would say the only thing that I would advise people who are watching this that are close to a beach, just don't do it with salt water. And otherwise, I would hope that'd be pretty common sense, but you're just not going to go away, are you?
It's okay.
She likes to see herself on the camera, I guess. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for showing that. I know. What is it? Let's see. Raylene is saying that you could use like she says, I bet you could spray lens cleaner and get the same effect. That's actually a good idea too.
That's perfect. I just never carry that stuff. So I'm literally thinking like, man, I'm just like, oh, water, awesome, like splash. And I just want to show people it's not like, oh, I'm dabbing this very precisely. It's literally like, let's see if this is enough.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's awesome. Antonio Marquez. He says, I don't know. He says the photographer. Do you know Antonio?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, oh goodness. He sent you. He says the photo is great, but the photographer, and he sent you a heart. So maybe he likes your hair.
Hey, thanks.
So that's awesome. And then I love this from Gina. She's so right. She says, I love how you're not afraid to take risks with your tools. Because that's so important,
exactly
right?
What they are. They're tools.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Thank you so much for showing that. So let's go ahead and let's pull up another image.
Let's do it.
And you, Peanut, you need to go watch your movie, okay?
No.
Please.
No, I am a Peanut.
Okay. Antonio's from Spain.
Second. Oh, I was just there. Let me see. Share screen.
I love this. Diane, as you're pulling that up, Diane's saying, I feel like we're creating a cult here of outside-the-box thinkers. That's so true.
Yes.
Diane, I love how you say that because here at MagMod, basically one of the things that we're always doing is we're always looking at ways that we can basically take our lighting and so forth and do something a little bit interesting and unique. And so it's so true that, instead of just shooting the standard shots, natural light all the time, like to actually do unique things is kind of a fun way to take things, like you said, outside the box. So I guess if that means we're creating
I'm still trying to share the
down.
screen. But I got water on my mouse pad, so it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, we're just...
That's funny. Uh-oh. We lost her there for a second. We'll get her right back here, guys. What was that? Oh, Raylene says you're not the only one watching with toddlers on your lap, right? This is kind of like the photographer, the thing that we do here at home all the time is we'll work and we have kids. I promise it's so funny because I'll be working all day, every day, and she won't bother me one bit. But the moment I start talking to somebody, she all of a sudden is like, oh, Dad's on the phone. I got to go see what's going on. So I'm going to see if I can pull Alex back in. Let me just, let's see. I think she has us on hold on Skype. I'm not even sure how you put somebody on hold. Maybe we can, I bet right now she's trying to figure out how to get her back here. Let's see. Oh, there you are. I can hear you.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No
I
problem.
literally just ran out and I was like, to my roommate, I was like, I need your mouse now.
That's hilarious.
But we just roll with it here. We just
Right?
roll with it.
I love it. No, it's funny because all of a sudden it said that you put us on hold. I'm like, wait, I'm not sure what that means.
I was trying to get it from the trackpad, and I guess there's still water things on it, but it's fine. I've literally spilled an entire pina colada on this, which I don't know if I should be telling people, but it's happened and it's fine. So.
Yeah. No, hey, you know what's cool is you, like you said, you just got to roll with things. So I love it. Well, awesome. Well, once you're ready to rock and roll, we'll bring up that next image and
Perfect. Okay, cheers.
we got hashtag just roll with it.
Okay.
I'm kind of doing the same with my daughter right now too. So
right.
All we need is some furry pets and it'll be a party.
Right. Okay. So can you see the screen now?
Yep, I can.
Okay. Cool. So let me make this big. Woohoo! Okay. So I know this isn't a killer, stunner, crazy, how did you do this image? But I think this is super important. As wedding photographers, we shoot in some, venues that they're not super lit or they're a barn and, we're struggling with lighting and sometimes we have to set up 6 different lights and la 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 la. And I'm always thinking on my feet. I don't have time to set up 6 lights. I don't even know how to set up 6 lights.
Yeah.
Carrying all that equipment around, that's a lot of work. And, which again, I love MagMod because what I do in this situation, and again, that was that same venue. This is actually that same couple I showed you. And the inside of that venue is dark and wood, and if you bounce, you're gonna get some lovely orange filter or coloring on your couple. So what I do for this is I put a grid right directly on my flash on my camera, and I point it again directly at my subject, and it's just this dragging shutter. And that's another reason I love MagMod is I can get this cool effect, and you'd never know this is at a barn. It's so easy to make a venue that could be a nightmare to light just look awesome in seconds. Yeah. So that's why I love it. And I think if we're talking about settings, because I know a lot of people ask about dragging shutters and settings, I usually start at a low ISO, so ISO 100. And I probably have the flash on a lower power 32 to maybe 64, even with the diffuser on it. I'm sorry, the MagGrid on it. And then I probably go from anywhere 10 to 15 second, or no, actually probably 10 to 6 second shutter drag.
Oh wow.
And just start there and adjust as necessary. Again, it's never this is the exact formula you're going to get, and you're going to get an image exactly like that. Because, every wedding venue is different, but it's a good starting space to have to get that. But like I said, I've been in so many venues, and I've seen other photographers just trying to, set up light stands or this or that. And those images are awesome. I'm not like disregarding that. I just, try to do something quick and easy and that still produces a really cool image. And you get like the crazy dancing images too. And I love how like the lights just like work, especially like, when like grandma's getting down on the dance floor or, like someone's had a little bit too much to drink and like throwing those moves and like getting right in there. But then also like, I feel like the lights kind of like guide you into that like space too. So.
So Alex, just to kind of summarize in from what I understood, the way you created that shot was you have a grid on your flash, and then and I'm assuming you used rear curtain sync. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So you had rear curtain sync, and then you took your shutter speed all the way down to like 6 seconds. So in other words, you open the shutter, and then as the shutter is going, you kind of twist it. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, twist it, whatever.
Yeah. And what's fun about those is, like you said, you can capture the light trails of any of the lights in the room. And then at the last, right before the shutter closes, that flash with the grid on it hits your subject right in the middle. And you get that nice, beautiful light on them as well. And you said you shot it at a low power, like 1/32, 1/64 power. Is that right?
Somewhere exactly. Because it's directly on them. It, just bam.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is starting to remind me. Have you ever seen that interview on CNN where the guy's talking about like Asia and like finances and stuff, and then all of a sudden the kids start rolling in, the mom like goes in after the kid and stuff like that. That's kind of how I'm feeling like this with this little girl. I totally apologize. I'm gonna have to make a note to self that never to try to do these interviews when my wife is traveling. So. Thankfully, people are saying best interview ever and stuff like that. They're being kind about it, but with the water on the mouse and everything else, right? But.
I'm really happy about that because, like, again, third time's the charm. We've tried this like all around the world.
Right. So, Octavio was just asking, was the flash on camera, and the answer to that is it was.
Yeah, directly on the camera.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See, now she's crying because her hairpiece came off. All right, here we go.
I get that. I understand.
Oh, your hair's crazy. Okay, I'll fix it, but I have to talk to Alex first, okay? As soon as I'm done, okay? Go watch your movie, and I'll be out there in just a minute. Crazy girl. What do we do, right?
Yeah.
So Alex, let's go ahead. Let's bring up your last image.
Cool.
Come here.
I should probably share my screen so you can see it. That would help.
Well, and actually, you might have a couple in there. We can kind of go through a few of those, but
screen. All right. Cool. So this image is like a again simple MagMod setup. This is in a hotel. It was winter. It's cold out. I'm from New England, and anyone who understands like cold is like it's cold out here. And if you get your bride and groom to go out ever in the cold, like props to you. But sometimes they're just having a good time and they don't want to leave the reception. And this is again a simple grid setup. Right, I had the groom hold it right there, and again I kind of told them to be aware that this is going to be a silhouette, and which is why you have the hand kind of like that. And then this is I think a quadruple exposure too. I carry with me like a ton of fairy lights. I actually have to give a shout out. My second shooter, Nicole, like as soon as she started shooting with me, she would like get me little gifts and stuff like that. And like, this is one of them. And she like came over one day. She's like, look at all these like cool little like lights. We can do crazy tricks with them. And so like, I still carry all those around.
That's awesome.
And that's basically what this is. They had like a fairy light curtain behind them. So that's where you get the yellow-ish balls, the small yellow ones. But then I really wanted like a nice contrasting color to kind of like make this image pop a little bit more. And so I used those like little blue ones. And again, like, let me see if I can find them for you. They should be, yeah, hold on.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back. Uh, I'll stop sharing the
Yeah.
screen so I can show you guys too. Stop sharing. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, so they literally, and I want to say my bags are more organized and that this looks, that it's not. But they like look like this, and they're just like all different colors. You can like find them anywhere, and I just kind of go with, if I want a red gel, I put a red gel and maybe blue, or if I do purple, I'm trying to do orange. And I actually have another image that's like super similar that I just put up that we wanted to talk about, which is I'll bring it up now.
Awesome. Awesome. No, and while you're bringing that up, so do you just buy those little fairy lights? Do you have to get them at a special place, or can you just get them at Amazon, or where do you typically get them?
I think you can get them right on Amazon. I'll have to ask her, and she might be watching. And if you are, Nicole, link that. That would be super helpful. And again, this is like the same image. How do I describe this? They had no like plain walls. All the walls had like, what's those like little woodworking like details that are sometimes like on wall. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I have no, like maybe trimming. Is that the word?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think
So
so.
they had trimming. So using a kind of like the mag gel behind it wouldn't have like looked very good, I didn't think, because of all like the trimmings on the walls, and just would have looked kind of messy. So we went outside really quick, and I just had her do that. And this image is actually taken at a lower shutter speed. I think it was like 1/60th.
Uh-huh.
And it was windy, and like I loved the way her dress flowed in the wind, and the flash itself, I think, again low ISO, probably like 100, 200 maybe, and just one flash behind the couple. And then again, I just double exposed it. And I have to say, when I found out about this double exposure in camera, my life changed. I was like, I didn't even know this existed. Like,
Yeah.
I know there's another MagMod ambassador. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Carton?
Yeah, Karsten Scherzer. Uh-huh.
Carson, yes. And I know he does this technique a lot.
Yep.
And, I just, again, when I found out about that, like double exposure, I was just mind blown. Like, yes, this is awesome. We're going to take this up a notch. Because literally you can use MagMod at any kind of venue and do a simple, like, awesome silhouette, and then have these, like, fairy lights in your bag, and
Yeah.
just come up with something awesome. And it's going to be unique every time, and it's going to, like, make the couple feel awesome every time. And honestly, if you don't have fairy lights, before I've used chandeliers, I've used Christmas lights. It's just always something different. And again, if you want to kick it up another notch, like, put a prism in front of it, double expose the fairy lights with the prism. Like,
Yeah.
just keep going, just keep getting weird. And the worst thing that happens is like, oh, it's not that cool. And okay, cool. Like, we'll figure out another image that maybe is. And you just kind of work off of, the failures.
I think that should be the hashtag. Keep getting weird. I love it.
Awesome.
There's been a bunch of comments coming in about the little lights. I think we've been calling them kind of the fairy lights. And for those who are interested, I've been able to. I picked up, I think it was a dozen of them, those little fairy lights for like $10.
Yeah, these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$10 on Amazon. I just bought a box of them, and they're so cheap. The batteries come with them. So I mean, even if you need those little round batteries, the easiest way to buy them, instead of going to Walmart and paying $8 for a pack of 2, just buy 12 fairy lights for $10 and you get 12 batteries. But they're super cheap. And then also Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any of those hobby shops. Somebody mentioned here Target sells them as well. They usually they use them for crafts. They'll put them like in like jars and stuff like that. So they're definitely out there. I love it. It's funny when you talk about getting weird. I call that my ninja light when I put something like in front of my camera. So like
Yeah.
a ninja like hiding out. So yeah.
I always get like comments on the wedding day too, like guests will look at me like, "What is she doing?" Because like I'll literally be sitting here like, "Yes,
Yeah.
yes," they're like weird, and just like I'm always on the ground too, or like close to it, like lying. I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
like a comfort zone thing or like whatever, but
Alex,
like
I
trying
hope
to
you're
get
making
those.
those noises too.
You know what? I am. I am. It's like no joke. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah, especially like I said, when I turn around and see the image and like I'm like I didn't even know it could be like this, and like I get super excited and like excited. Everyone knows that it was a really cool image. So
That's rad. That's rad. And it's fun though. It's fun when you can actually turn it around and show the clients and actually let them see like that you're an incredible magician, basically. You know what I mean? That you can create something. I mean, because what's nice about that is if you know how to create something like that, then you can take any environment. I mean, there could be a trash can over to the
exactly.
side, and you can make it totally look different and just absolutely blow their mind. And then what happens is they go, geez, it doesn't matter what wedding it is or who it is or whatever. Alex is going to make them look incredible. So then they just send you tons of referrals. So
Exactly. And you know, it's almost harder for me to shoot at really beautiful venues because I'm like, there's just so much here. Like,
right.
and like, I love the venues that give me a challenge, and like, from those venues, I feel like come my strongest images versus like, yes, this is a beautiful mountain ceremony, or I'm on the top of a volcano. And I don't get me wrong, love that. But like, I also just really, really just personally enjoy the challenge of like, okay, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, so let me just try a billion things and go for it.
That's inspiring though. That's inspiration for all of us, you know, because I think sometimes as photographers we trip up a little bit when we have those challenges, and so it's good to think that way. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And like, you know, we all start out somewhere. We're not all shooting at the Ritz or, you know, all those kind of like venues.
Uh,
So, you know,
yeah,
just make
we all
the
have to
best.
do our elk lodge wedding.
Exactly. And there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
Make that elk
No,
lodge look like a magical fairy wizardry place.
land.
Do it.
There you go.
So, yeah.
No, that's awesome. Alex, I've lost track with all my little distractions I have going on here. How many, do we have another image? I can't remember, did we share them all? I know we've shared like 3 or 4, I think, but I can't remember if there's 1 or 2 more that we talked about or.
I think that was it. I mean, we can talk about any more, but I don't know how we're doing for time.
You know, we've kept a lot of people here. I will say I've been totally inspired. I really enjoy it. You know what? Do you mind if we just share one more? Do you have another one there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay. Let's see. Here is. Let's see.
We'll go one last one and then we'll wrap things up.
So here is one where I use the chandelier, and here you can see like my couple is standing on a banister. It's like they're oh my god, what is this thing doing? That's the water. It's fine. It's the water on the screen. It's just making things interesting.
Oh, there it goes.
But yeah, so there's like 2 chandeliers here, and I just kind of made them out of focus. And then I think in Lightroom, I just like dragged down some like different colors. And again, just
right
one
on.
simple flash.
Yeah.
MagGel behind them. I don't use Photoshop. I should mention that. Like I get kind of salty when people are like, "Oh, that's really cool, like Photoshop." No. Like, no, I don't know how to use Photoshop. I don't have time. There's too many buttons. You have to go to school for that. Again, why I love MagMod, because I can take that and I can make this in camera, and then I can use Lightroom and kind of just adjust and, you know, get that and have another image.
And real quick before you jump off this one, this is just a gel behind them, right? Just one gel behind them. And then when you were saying you added color in Lightroom, what you're referring to there is you use the graduated filter with some color and just kind of drag it across the screen?
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And then like this right here is another one. Same kind of concept.
Alex, while you're bringing that up, Danielle says, "Alex, you're hilarious, and we need to be best friends pronto." I love your work.
I would love to be best friends because I have like 3 friends. So like, let's go, girl. Margarita's on me, first round.
That's That's awesome.
Um, this is the same thing. Again, one flash behind the couple, and you can see like the chairs behind them. Like the DJ booth is literally right next to them, and then another double exposure, and you get this red and blue kind of situation because of the uplights. So you have the red shining off the chandelier, and then the other uplight was blue, and then you have this like black streak. And again, I didn't plan for any of this when I double exposed it. I was like, oh, like I took probably like 50 like different out of focus chandelier images and tried it all in camera at dinner.
Yeah.
And this one worked. And this is probably, I think this black spot is just like on the tile, or like on like the ceiling tile where it's like I don't know, it's like the part of the ceiling tile that keeps it all together.
Uh-huh.
Again, I'm not good at construction, but I can do some double exposures.
Yeah, no,
but it's the same thing. Same thing.
Which camera are you using to do the double exposure? I think you said you're using Nikon. Is that right?
Yeah, I use 750s and 850s, and both do them. I know on the 850s, you have to have it on the highest like image. You can't do like raw medium. You have to do raw large. I don't know why. If Nikon's watching, like maybe we should look into that. But just saying.
No,
but on the 750, you can just do it right in camera.
Gotcha. And then Alex, on this shot, was it a cyan gel behind them, or was that just the color of the wall there?
I think it was the teal.
The teal gel.
I want to say it was teal. Yeah, because I used purple. I used dark blue. I try to like do a bunch of different images, different like silhouettes throughout the night, or like just try a few. If I have my couples standing there, we'll just like interchange gels for like 2-3 minutes before I let them go. And again, like I kind of make sure they're aware of like, okay, if we're taking a silhouette, you don't want to have like a claw like this. You want pretty fingers, that kind of stuff. So
love it.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Those are great tips. Alex, what's been so fun about this little chat that we've had, this little interview, or I guess you could say, is that you've not only talked about MagMod and how you're using it seems like what I'm noticing is that gels is probably your go-to. You use a lot of gels. Is that right?
Go-to. The gels and the grid. I sometimes use the boob. But most of the time it's gels and grid because it's the easiest, and I can carry it in the same bag as I carry all the other stuff, and it's literally a pouch like this. Yeah. This big.
Yeah, slay all day. I love it.
It's a gift. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so I carry everything in there, and if it doesn't fit in there, it's probably not coming. And you can get the boob to fit in there. You just
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's funny. I take all my, Mag Bounce, MagSphere, everything. I just kind of toss it in and squish it all up, and yeah, exactly. It doesn't. I mean, you can pop it right up, and it doesn't have any issue. Hey, before we wrap things up, there's just a couple questions. John Canlis, he's wondering, is the white balance on auto when you shoot? For
sure, always on auto. I've tried to do like the where you take the you're focusing on like the white balance to make it like, more orange or like whatever. And that's too difficult for me. So I have those fairy lights that are different colors, and like, that's perfect. Like that's easier for me than like toying. Cause the other thing too is like, what if I forget to change it? Cause that's happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just always on auto, the easiest thing.
Cool. And then Diane brings up a good point as well. She's saying that for those who might not have the double exposure feature on your camera, maybe it's a different model than the one you have, for example, you can do those double exposures in Photoshop. I know in camera is nice, but you can also do the layers and so forth. So just want to make sure for those who might be saying, oh, I can't do what Alex is doing. If you do have Photoshop, and like Alex said, you've gone to school for it.
I don't know how to use that shit.
So, awesome. Well, Alex, we super appreciate you taking the time and spending it here with us this morning. Like I said, we've tried this a few times, and I'm so glad that we finally got it to go, and everyone was able to tune in. There's been lots of comments and questions. Guys, if we didn't get to your comments or questions here on the show, Myself and Alex, I actually haven't even invited you yet, Alex, but if you wouldn't mind, maybe over the next 48 hours, you can just kind of check those comments out occasionally and just see if there's,
Sure.
you know, something that maybe if someone has a question. Maybe if Alex, the second shooter, tunes in and hears it, maybe she can post a link to the fairy lights that she was mentioning as well.
I'll
But
definitely
Alex,
tag her.
yeah, there you go. But Alex, you are amazing. Thank you so much for taking this time and being here with us. And
You're so welcome.
yeah, definitely. I want to make sure I wrote it in here. I'm going to toss this up on screen. I'm putting up your Instagram. So everyone can go check out your latest work. And then also, Alex, before I let you go, I love the way you told me how to say your last name. So everyone can remember your last name. So your full name is Alexsandra, but people call you Alex. And tell everyone how to pronounce your last name.
So it's Wiciel, but the easiest way to remember it is you and me. We chill. You and me and your daughter, but we chill.
We chill. I love it. I love it. And then one last thing, Alex, you had mentioned something in our pre-chat as well, and I thought it was worth mentioning is you had given some credit to Lanny and Erica.
Yes, if they're watching, I've learned so much from their workshop. It was 3 days long. It's intensive, and it's it is the best investment I've ever made for myself, my business. If you want to learn more about, how exactly to just take it up a notch, definitely go there. Inspirational. You meet photographers from literally all over the world. And it's an amazing experience, and I can't recommend it enough. And I would literally not be chatting with you today if I didn't take that workshop. So thank you, Lanny and Erica. And, thank you guys for reaching out to me, and I'm so stoked to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we're definitely glad you're here. I don't know. We're definitely glad you're here, and Emma, I think Emma knows that we're about to wrap things up, so she's trying to make sure that she gets her camera time in there. But Alex, thank you for mentioning that, because Lanny and Erica are amazing people. For those who don't know, check out Two Man as well. They're on our website, on the MagMod website as well, and they're great people. So I think it's great that you mentioned it, because they are wonderful people, and they're definitely revolutionizing the industry, or changing things up by the type of work they're putting out there. And so are you. You're a total inspiration for us, Alex.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due. Super important.
Well, you're awesome. Hey, Alex, thank you again. Super appreciate it, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Lizzie's saying what workshop? Lizzie, it's if you just check out Two Man Workshops. I can't remember what they
Balls Out, maybe.
They used to call them Balls Out, and they might have changed the name, but I thought it was a fantastic name. But Two Man, just go to twoman.com. It's 2mann.com. And Alex, I guess with that, do you have any workshops or anything coming up as well?
I'm actually putting one together for the fall. I haven't put it all together yet. It's still in the early stages, but when I do, I'll definitely drop you guys a link so you can check it out.
Yeah, let us know.
Cool.
Right on. Hey, thank you everyone for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Some people had asked if this will be on YouTube later. It will. So we'll put that up. And thank you for tuning in. And Alex, thank you so much for your time. You're awesome.
Thank you for rolling with it, all of it.
Oh, no, I thank you for rolling with it.
So good meeting you guys.
You're awesome. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.